I was born in Iași, Romania, December the 13th, 1919. We came here New Year's 1921. They came from Marseille, France, to Ellis Island. It took them 21 days to get here on the ship called the Olympia. There were 15 relatives that came over and landed in Ellis Island, and on the way over, I got the measles. So my mother wrapped me in a blanket, and she flirted with the customs guards and got me into New York without having to go into quarantine.
When she first came here, they went to New York and Chicago, and basically they were going wherever her father could find work. He was a tailor, and he was a furrier, and her mother was a couturier seamstress. I know she went to high school, North High School in Denver, Colorado. She was invited out one night with a young man who, they were on a double date, and my father was the other date. And the young man that my mother was with was paying attention to my father's date. So my mother paid attention to my father, and the rest is history.
I got married in 1938. And when I got married, that was for keeps. Well, I love my wife, obviously. From the time I met her, I've been true. She is my true love.
Mom had gypsy feet. She loved to travel. She traveled even when she was in her 90s. She went to Barcelona, Spain, so that she could see this Gaudi church. She really wanted somebody to go with her, but if no one was going to go with her, she was going to go anyway. As long as she was physically able, she wanted to travel. And I think that both her daughter and her granddaughter have inherited her gypsy feet. This is Mom's studio. You can see that she loved the art books, and she worked in these acrylic paints that are all over the place. Lots of brushes. She worked in a lot of different styles. She was constantly working. She was always looking for the mountains that she'd left in Colorado. You would see in her paintings a continual reference to mountains. Ever since I was a little girl, my mother was drawing all the time. She was always drawing pictures, faces. She prided herself on being a good docent. It was probably the most important thing in her life, besides her family. Being a docent at the Fort Lauderdale Museum meant a great deal to her because she had been able to guide people through the museum with a great deal of confidence. She was always learning. She was always continuing to prepare for the next exhibition at the museum. But what really surprised me was the books that I found next to her bed before she died. It was Hamlet, the play by Shakespeare, and a philosophy book.